Welcome to the Newton Free Library presents Get Creative Science. This week we look at light and shadow. My name is Lisa. I am one of the children's librarians at the Newton Free Library. And today we're going to do a science experiment, experimenting with light and shadows. There are a few materials that you will need with you for today. You will need a flashlight, a clear cup or glass, a piece of cardboard, and 2 to 3 other objects from home, and one could be a clear plastic bag. In shadows today. To get started, we need to think about what is a light source. So a light source means where is our light coming from? In the world, our light comes from something that's in the sky during the day. If you said the sun, you are correct. So the sun, that large ball of gas that provides a lot of heat, warms up the earth and also provides us with light that allows us to see during the daytime. At night, when it is dark, it means we're facing away from the sun and we no longer have that sunlight to brighten our day. That is where we have things that we make for light. Things like flashlights and lamps, candles that we use to brighten up our space. At the objects that are around us in the world, they interact with light a couple different ways. And interact means what they do when they are used with light. So we're going to look at how does light act with different materials in our world. So first is, can light move through items? And that's what we're going to do first for our experiment. And moving through means that can we see light on the other side? I have my light source. And for our first experiment, I want you to take your light source, so whatever HIPAA flashlight you have. And I want you to start off with your clear item. So either your glass plastic cup or your plastic bag. And we're going to turn our light source on. I'm going to turn mine on. You can see it on my hand. Turn on again. So here's the amount of light that it's giving off. It's a lot of light there. And now I'm going to hold up my cup and I can see that light is coming right through my cup. So light is going through. The cup is not acting like a wall stopping my light from going through. So my light can pass, it can move through something that's clear like my cup. Now let's experiment with our plastic bag. I'm going to hold my plastic bag up and try the same thing. Here's my light source again. And now I'm holding up my plastic bag. And my light is moving right through that plastic bag and is still on my hand. So is the plastic bag stopping the light from moving through? Nope, we can see it. And you can see it on the wall, see it on my window behind me. The light is moving through. I'm gonna try that piece of cardboard I have. So here's my cardboard piece. Here's our light source again. I'm going to turn back on my flashlight. And we have light source coming through. Here's my light. What's happening now that I have my cardboard piece? Is that light coming through it anymore? No. The light isn't able to move through the cardboard, so we can't see it on the other side. If your light can't move through it like a glass, then it casts a shadow. So I also had these straws with me. I'm gonna hold my 2 straws up. I'm gonna take my light and point them. And can you see behind me? It looks like 2 bunny ears over on my window screen behind me. I've made a shadow because the light can't go through the straw. The straw is solid. It can't go through it. So when light can't go through something, it just makes a shadow around it. So now I have my shadow from this one. So I've now set up some space on my table to try a little bit more with my experiment. So you're seeing me in a split screen. And what I'm going to do is use my flashlight to cast some light onto my table below. And I'm going to hold up some of the objects that I had to see if I can make some shadows on my table. So first I'm gonna hold up my round button that I have. So I'm gonna push my light onto the table, and as I'm putting my button on, you can see that shadow, that's the circle, and you can see the 4 holes. Because there's holes in the button, the light can go through the buttons, but it can't go through the plastic part of my button. It can only go through those 4 holes. Now I'm gonna try my basket that I had. So I'm putting my light back on my table, taking my basket, and the basket is something kind of cool because the basket is woven. There's spots where there's holes. So you can see on my table, the light passing through the holes and not passing through the weaving that's in the basket. We'll try one more together. I also had nearby some paper bags. So I'm gonna take my paper bag, but before I do my experiment, I'm gonna fold it a little bit and see if I can make like a little shape with it. So I just folded up my paper bag, putting my light source, my flashlight, back on the table, and now I'm putting my shadow, my object. And you might notice I'm moving my hands around till I can find a good angle on my shadow. Now that you know light passes through clear objects and that it can't pass through solid objects but can make shadows, you can explore around your house making shadows. Have fun. Join us next time for Get Creative Science.